I just wanna come back. How did things get so bad? Man, I swear it felt like last week that you the one.
What is good, you got my nation, Billy. Back with a reaction video for today, guys, bro. I'm sorry, but my hair is literally annoying me today. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's flinging, it's itching. My hair is like so itchy and everything. Like, I don't know what's going on, but don't say I have fleas. Calm down. But today we're gonna be reacting to film theory. Thanos was wrong. He can't snap. So basically, I think this is about saying, I don't know, he can't snap his fingers and everything go away. I don't know what it's about, but smash that like button, comment down below your opinions, and yeah, let's get right to the video. Avengers Infinity War. Let's get it.
Thanos, buddy, I love you, but after all these movies and all that effort to get those Infinity Stones, your big triumphant moment where you vaporize half the universe finally comes around and you choose to snap? Snap? I mean, come on, we're not all Picasso here, but it's just uninspired. Think of all the other things you could have done. The Thanos clap, the Thanos punch the sky, the Thanos dab, a little dated, but still relevant with the youngsters, the Thanos shadow puppet, the Thanos American Sign Language. It would be great for building awareness of other forms of communication. No? None of those? Well, that's just uncalled for. No one asked for the Thanos middle finger salute. Well, now you're just being childish. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
I almost said Game Theory.
About all your favorite franchises, a snap. Now that we've all had time to sit back and reflect on the glory that was Avengers Infinity War, I want to bring up something that's been bugging me about it. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. It was basically the Marvel Cinematic Universe meets Survivor All-Stars.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there in the theater seeing how many of my favorite Marvel characters are in this thing, and I can't tell where my own gleeful drool ends and the fake butter flavoring on my popcorn begins.
Ew.
Despite of all of that, there's one part of this movie that I found just a bit too implausible to let go. And when I think back about it, I actually let a lot of things go for this movie. I mean, Heimdall can see everything but misses Thanos' ship. Sure, we have mistakes. Thor can just jam somebody else's eye into his socket and see again. Whatever.
Yeah, what the heck? That's so weird.
Rules don't apply to him. Doctor Strange has literally the whole movie to use his time stones and just doesn't, even though he should see Thanos' plans for galactic genocide coming a mile away. And he has portals that are able to rip people in half, or at the very least capture them, which should make pulling off the gauntlet very easy. You know, I don't have an explanation for that.
He could have done that! He could have done that!
My favorite Marvel
use freaking time portal or whatever.
Pass all around. No, the problem I had with this movie was none of these things. It was this scene.
Yeah.
Did you catch it? It was over in a snap, literally. Thanos snaps his fingers and wipes out half the universe for the sake of resource conservation, like some sort of over-enthusiastic Al Gore. But there's a problem here. The snap itself, the actual act of flicking his fingers like a hulky Dorothy trying to click her heels to get back to I mean, come on! He's wearing a giant gauntlet made of Uru, a metal. He can't just snap his fingers while he's wearing that, right? Think about every movie you've ever seen where people are wearing metal armor. Every Game of Thrones episode. Heck, every British period piece where they wear those dainty tea gloves. Nobody is snapping in those things.
Yeah.
I can't even.
It's always a clap or like a hand on the ground or some dab.
Gauntlet is near impossible, and not by the rules of some convoluted comic book universe, but by the basic laws of physics. It's moments like this where I'm like, Marvel, I love you. I count down to every.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, how the heck can you snap your fingers?
It's like, do you even science, bro? So I have to call you out, answer the tough yet essential questions here, and show you why Thanos' finishing move is a deafening dud. To the Theorist Mobile!
Thank you, let's go.
If we want to determine whether you can snap while wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, we should first clarify what's actually making the sound of a snap. Duh, MatPat, a snap is just the sound that your finger makes when it hits your palm. You, 22-year-old master of acoustics, might be saying. Well, let's put that assertion to the test. First, snap your fingers. Now, do the same thing, but hold your index finger, ring finger, and pinky away from your hand. I'm completely serious. serious. Try it now. Everyone all done? It sounds pretty different, right?
It sounds
you try
different.
to snap with your fingers in different arrangements. I mean, sure, it still makes a sound when your middle finger hits your palm. It just doesn't make the same kind of snap.
Yeah, it doesn't, because you need this. You need to do this. You can't be doing this. It won't work.
Than we imagine. It's this thing that most of us learn to do when we're 6 or 7, specifically to use as social currency in 1st grade, and yet to this day it remains one of these universal mysteries that we don't really understand about our own bodies. So let's unravel that mystery right now.
That's weird.
True, the thud of your finger hitting your palm makes a sound, and so does your finger as it moves down your thumb and pops off at the end. But actually, both of those sounds are quiet compared to the popping noise that's made by the air in your hand. Now, that might sound weird, but when you snap, the air that's trapped in your hand is what's making the big sound, or in our case, making half the universe disappear. Let me show you. Look at the shape of your hand when you're getting ready to snap. It should look roughly like this. You'll see that your ring finger and pinky are pressed against your palm, roughly creating
ring
a
finger,
cone
pinky,
closed or nearly closed at the bottom. When your middle finger moves towards your palm, the cone changes shape really quickly, which actually forces air up and out of the cone towards your index finger.
Yeah, basically.
The reason why most people have a similar hand position when they're snapping is because this cone shape ends up being the best for amplifying sound. The movement out of your hand cone projects sound and the air pressure in one concentrated direction. This is crucial for the snap, and it's actually the same way that the flared end of a horn or a brass instrument works. The more you can compress the air in the cone with your fast middle finger movement, the faster the air will be to rush out of your hand cone and the louder the snap sounds. That's why when you move your middle finger faster, you get a louder snap than when you move your middle finger slower. If you want to snap even louder, you can use 2 hands. Seriously, it's called the Persian snap. And while the YouTube tutorials I found were hopeless in teaching me how to do it effectively, you can hear for yourself how loud it can be. So here's the rub. Thanos is actually creating this shape with his hands. He's actually got pretty good form going into the snap. So should he be able to create a great sound at the climactic moment? Well, no. Because if you thought that physics has already ruined snapping for you ain't seen nothing yet. More sciencing! The second issue is one that was actually recognized in the movie, or at least in the movie filming. Josh Brolin, the actor who plays Thanos, reveals that when he was doing motion capture,
that was him?
The Infinity Gauntlet was represented by a hockey glove, and that posed some problems.
And what the heck? Snap with hockey gloves on just doesn't work.
So does that mean it would be impossible to snap while wearing any kind of glove on a hand, including one that's blinking?
Yes, it's impossible.
Well, not necessarily. One of the issues with snapping while wearing gloves is that your fingers create less friction with the snapping motion. Basically, they're more slippery, which means that the air in the cone never gets a good pop. Relative to gloves, human skin has a high coefficient of friction, meaning that you actually need a lot of force to get skin to move on other skin. But to give you a comparison, the coefficient of friction on the palm of your hand is about 0.62. The coefficient of friction on cotton is about 0.51, and the coefficient of metal, like aluminum, is 0.42. Since metal has a lower coefficient of friction than a lot of other materials, it'll naturally be worse at snapping than almost anything else you could wear. That being said, what you lose in friction, you can actually make up for with sheer force. You can try this at home just with your fingers. Hold your middle finger against your thumb loosely and snap. It's kind of dull and quiet, right? Now press your middle finger really hard against your thumb and snap. It's much louder. By increasing the force required to overcome the friction, you speed up the moving finger, which in turn speeds up
that is true.
Compressed, which in turn makes the snap louder. Could you do the same thing while wearing a magical metallic gauntlet? Theoretically, no. Especially if you're as strong as a mad titan. The other thing that's actually sitting in
how is that possible?
Is metal's ability to conduct sound. Going back to what I said a few minutes ago, that snapping moves air a lot like a brass instrument or a horn, have you ever stopped to wonder why horns are made of metal and brass? Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that metal is actually a great sound conductor.
Oh yeah, of course.
At the molecular level,
I already knew that.
I
took instruments when I was a kid.
Structure, which just means that
I played the trumpet, the clarinet, and the drums.
Over again. When you have that kind of molecular structure, it's able to carry sound waves through in a very uniform way, preserving the sound wave and either allowing it to bounce right off or projecting it outward. Fabrics like cotton or leather that you might use for other kinds of gloves have a totally different molecular structure because they're polymers. Instead of being able to preserve the sound, polymers, which are long and tangly, break up the sound waves and absorb them, making them really bad sound conductors. That's why fabrics are used to absorb sound. So it seems like everything is combining for the Infinity Gauntlet to make one tremendous and thunderous snap like you hear in the movie, except there's one huge factor getting in the way. You know how we said that metals transfer the forces applied applied to them into the surrounding air? Well,
Yep.
that's assuming that air is the thing that's surrounding them. Again, think about a trumpet or a horn. There's air vibrating inside the horn caused by your mouth blowing all that nice air and spit, and it's transferred to the outside all along the horn and through the metal's ability to vibrate as the cone widens at the end. The Infinity Gauntlet, though, has a problem, which is that Thanos' hand is in it. If we were to take his hand
there's
out,
no
we'd
air.
actually get a lot of reverberation.
What air is there, actually?
Because the metal would be free to vibrate with air on either side. But because this is the Infinity Gauntlet and was made specifically for Thanos by the Dwarf King, we know that this gauntlet genuinely fits like a glove. The glove do fit, you can't quit. That means that when Thanos snaps, his fingers inside the gauntlet will actually be deadening his own snap, with most of the sound energy simply being transferred into his own skin. This isn't to say that there won't be any sound when Thanos snaps, just that instead of an actual snap or even a kind of metallic clunk, we're just more likely to get a metal grinding sound from how hard he has to press to get the snap to work in the first place.
Wow, damn.
It's not exactly impressive for the Master of the Universe.
Yeah, they had to do some editing to that. They had to do some sound effects.
Had tested snapping in metal gloves. So as I was literally finishing the last
this is in the comic books.
I found out that my buddy Kyle Hill over on Because Science actually did an episode covering this topic a couple weeks ago. He takes a very different approach to this, where instead of diving into the acoustics, he goes for the practical physics and actually tries on a bunch
Why do people do this? Why do people want to know if it snaps or not?
Like, from Sword in the Stone, who makes all kinds of movie and video game weapons in real life. If you want to see some of the stuff that they put to the test because you just can't get enough of fictional gauntlet physics, well, definitely check that one out. And yes, before you run off to the comments and remind me that Thanos literally has the power of all the universes in his hand so he can make his snap sound like anything he wants. And at the end of the day, remember, it's just a theory.
I was about to say game theory. Wow.
Now that you know Thanos' dirty little secret behind his lame finishing move, you can ruin Infinity War for all your friends and family. But it doesn't have to stop with Marvel movies. Oh no! There's a whole world of bizarre physics out there to make you and everyone you know weirded out. Or paranoid about pretty much anything you could ever want. Basically, the thesis of game theory and
I have so much about Marvel, it's ridiculous.
We take for granted every day and learning about how it actually works, whether it's how we snap, why your toaster flips bread in the air, or even why you can see through glass, has always been mind-blowing to me. If you're into the same kinds of things as I am, today's episode, which is audible.com, where you can tap.
Alright guys, so that'll be the end of the video. If you guys want me to react to more film theory in the future, smash that like button, comment down below your opinions. But yeah, bro, I always wanted to know that too. Like, when he snapped his fingers, you can hear the snap. I'm like, how can you hear the snap if you have an Infinity Gauntlet? It's made of heavy, it's a heavy glove made of metal and probably gold or something like that. But how can you hear the snap? Like, I know for sure that you can probably hear it, a little bit of it, but it's more of a screeching type sound. And I knew something was up, but obviously I'm not doing no film theory. That's not my forte, you know what I'm saying? But like, comment down below your opinion, smash that like button if you guys are new. Comment down below what do you guys feel about. Do you guys think this theory is true or false? So many people, apparently YouTubers are making like videos about this, talking about snapping their finger. Like, people are really making videos about, oh, how does Thanos not, how can he snap his finger? Like, come on, bro, this is crazy. But comment down below your opinions, and yo, bro, I'm done. Peace.